Stop what you're doing right now, just for a moment. Close your eyes if you can. Take one deep breath, hold it, and now exhale slowly. Here's the question I want you to sit with. What if the fact that you're watching this video right now isn't random? What if you've been preparing for this moment your entire life without even knowing it? What if every struggle, every setback, every moment of doubt was actually part of a test, a quantum test that most people never recognize, let alone pass? Open your eyes, because what I'm about to share with you in the next hour is going to fundamentally change how you understand your journey, your purpose, and your place in the quantum field of consciousness. You didn't find this video. This video found you. And that timing, that's not coincidence, that's quantum recognition. Let me guess something about you. You've been experiencing something lately that you can't quite explain. Maybe it's a feeling that you're meant for something more, but you can't articulate what that is. A sense that reality is shifting around you in ways that feel both exciting and terrifying. An awareness that the old patterns, the ones that used to define you, are starting to dissolve, and you're not sure who you're becoming. Synchronicities happening so frequently that you can't dismiss them as coincidence anymore. A pull toward deeper knowledge, deeper understanding, deeper truth that you can't ignore. And here's what I know. You've been trying to understand this. You've read the books, you've watched the videos, you've tried the manifestation techniques, the vision boards, the affirmations, maybe even the energy work. Some things helped a little. You had glimpses, moments where everything made sense, but the core confusion remained. And maybe you've wondered, am I broken? Am I doing something wrong? Why does everyone else seem to get this except me? Stop right there. You're not broken. You're not doing it wrong. You're actually doing something that most people never do. You're questioning, you're seeking, you're testing the boundaries of consensus reality. And that questioning, that seeking, that is the test. What makes this approach different is that we're going to bridge 3 dimensions of understanding that are rarely brought together. Pilar 1, the science of consciousness. We're talking about quantum physics, neuroscience, bioelectromagnetism, the measurable, provable mechanics of how consciousness creates reality, not philosophy, not wishful thinking, science. The kind that bridges what Einstein discovered in 1935 about quantum entanglement with what ancient wisdom traditions have known for thousands of years. That consciousness is not a product of matter. Consciousness is matter. Pilar 2, energy self-care as medicine. Not as some luxury spa treatment or woo-woo concept, but as practical technology for healing your body and rewiring your nervous system. Your biofield, your energetic anatomy, your 3 brains, heart, gut, and head. These aren't metaphors. They're measurable systems that you can work with to create coherence, which is the foundation of conscious creation. Pilar 3, natural magic. The forgotten art of working with the intelligence of nature itself, the cycles of the moon, the elements, the seasons, the electromagnetic field of the earth. These aren't poetic metaphors. They're real forces that you can harness for transformation. And when you understand how to work with them instead of against them, you stop forcing and start allowing. When you bring these 3 together, science, energy, and practice, something extraordinary happens. You don't just change your thoughts. You don't just heal your emotions. You literally shift into a different timeline, a different probability stream, where the old patterns simply don't exist anymore. Now, before we go any further, I need to give you a warning. This content is activational. What that means is, as you watch this video, things are going to start happening. You might feel tingling in your hands or feet, warmth in your heart center, sudden emotional releases, tears, laughter, or waves of energy moving through your body, an overwhelming urge to change something in your life immediately, memories surfacing that you haven't thought about in years. If any of that happens, don't be alarmed. That's your system recognizing truth. That's your higher self saying, yes, finally. This is what I've been waiting for. Trust what you feel in your body more than what you think in your mind. Your mind will try to rationalize, to dismiss, to protect you from change. But your body knows. Let's begin the journey from pattern to possibility, from confusion to clarity, from the test to the truth. For the last several years, I've been diving deep into the intersection of quantum physics, neuroscience, and practical spirituality. Not as some mystical guru disconnected from reality, not as someone selling you empty promises, but as someone committed to finding the truth, whether that truth lives in physics laboratories at Stanford or in ancient practices of energetic healing. And what I've discovered has shaken everything I thought I knew about who we are and what we're capable of. The revolution happening right now in consciousness research is this: consciousness is not a product of matter. Consciousness is matter. Consciousness is the fundamental fabric of reality itself. Your thoughts, your feelings, your intentions, these aren't just chemical reactions in your brain. They're quantum events that ripple through the field of all possibilities, collapsing probability waves into actual experiences. And here's what most people miss. You're not just experiencing reality, you're authoring it every single moment. But most people are authoring unconsciously, running programs they inherited from their parents, their culture, their trauma. They're not creating from their true frequency, they're creating from their conditioned frequency. And that's where the test comes in. Today, you're going to receive the complete map. Here's what we're going to cover. Part 1, the quantum test, what it is and why you're taking it. Why certain souls are called to question consensus reality, and why that questioning is actually a quantum invitation to step into a higher timeline. Part 2, the science of timeline recognition. How quantum physics explains multiple timelines, the observer effect, and why your consciousness is the variable that determines which reality you experience. Part 3, the 3 markers of timeline passage, the specific signs that indicate you're transitioning from one probability stream to another, and why most people miss them completely. Part 4, your energetic signature as quantum antenna, how your biofield, your heart's electromagnetic field, and your emotional coherence literally broadcast which timeline you're tuning into. Part 5, the protocol, activating timeline awareness, step-by-step practices for consciously navigating timeline shifts, including grounding techniques, coherence practices, and quantum jumping protocols. Part 6, natural magic and timeline anchoring, how to work with the elements, lunar cycles, and Earth's electromagnetic field to stabilize your new timeline and prevent regression to old patterns. This isn't theory, this isn't philosophy, this is the integration of cutting-edge science with ancient wisdom, delivered as practical technology you can use today to consciously create your reality. Prepare yourself, because what you're about to learn is going to challenge everything you thought you knew about who you are and what's possible. Let's begin. 1935, Albert Einstein, along with physicists Boris Podolsky and Nathan Rosen, published a paper that was supposed to prove that quantum mechanics was incomplete. They called it the EPR paradox. The problem they were trying to solve? They discovered something deeply disturbing about reality at the quantum level. When two particles become entangled, connected at the quantum level, they remain connected, no matter how far apart they are. Change the spin of one particle, and the other particle instantly responds, even if it's on the other side of the universe. Einstein hated this. He called it spukhafte Fernwirkung, spooky action at a distance. He believed it was impossible because it violated the speed of light, which according to his theory of relativity was the universal speed limit. Nothing could communicate faster than light. But here's what happened. In 1982, a French physicist named Alain Aspect actually tested the EPR paradox, and Einstein was wrong. Entanglement is real. It's measurable, it's reproducible. Particles that have interacted remain connected across space and time in ways that defy our common sense understanding of reality. Now, here's the question that changes everything. If particles that have interacted once remain entangled forever, why wouldn't your consciousness work the same way? Think about it. You're not separate from the universe. You're made of the same quantum particles that make up everything else. Your thoughts are quantum events. Your intentions create measurable electromagnetic fields. The observer effect, proven in experiment after experiment, shows that the ACT of observation collapses quantum possibilities into specific outcomes. You are not observing reality. You are collapsing it into being. And if consciousness can collapse possibilities, if observation determines outcome, if entanglement means everything is connected, then you are entangled with every possible version of your life that exists in the quantum field. Every choice you could have made, every path you could have taken, every version of yourself that exists as a probability wave. The question isn't, is manifestation real? The question is, which timeline are you choosing to collapse into your experience? And that choice, that's not happening in your thinking mind. It's happening in your frequency. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Because it's not enough to understand the science. You need to understand how consciousness actually interacts with the quantum field. And that brings us to another groundbreaking discovery, one that reveals exactly why some people manifest effortlessly while others struggle their entire lives. Let's talk about the heart, not the romantic metaphor of the heart, the actual electromagnetic generator that is your physical heart. Because what scientists discovered at the HeartMath Institute in 1993 is going to blow your mind. Let's go straight to the scientific point that changes everything about how you understand manifestation and timeline shifting. Your heart is not just a pump. Your heart is the most powerful electromagnetic generator in your body, and the field it creates doesn't stay inside your body. It extends 3 to 6 feet outside your physical form, creating a toroidal field, a donut-shaped energy field that every person and object near you can feel, whether they're consciously aware of it or not. In 1993, the HeartMath Institute in California began measuring something extraordinary. Using squid magnetometers, devices sensitive enough to detect the faintest magnetic fields, they discovered that when you feel emotions of coherence, gratitude, love, compassion, appreciation, your heart enters a harmonic rhythm. And this rhythm doesn't just affect your heart, it synchronizes your brain, it synchronizes your nervous system, it even synchronizes the rhythm of your cells. Dr. Rollin McCraty, HeartMath's director of research, published findings showing that the heart's electromagnetic field is approximately 60 times greater in amplitude than the brain's electrical field. Your heart's field can be detected and measured several feet away from your body using sensitive magnetometers. But here's what's truly revolutionary. They discovered that your heart responds to future events before they happen. In studies measuring heart rate variability, participants' hearts showed measurable changes 4 to 7 seconds before they were shown emotionally charged images they had no way of predicting. Your heart is accessing information outside of linear time. Let me give you the numbers that matter. When you're in cardiac coherence, when your heart rhythm is smooth and ordered, your heart rate variability, HRV, shows a sine wave-like pattern. This state increases DHEA, the anti-aging hormone, by 100%, decreases cortisol, stress hormone, by 23%, increases IgA, immune antibodies, by 50%, synchronizes the brain's alpha, theta, and delta waves. And here's the quantum connection. When your heart is in coherence, it's transmitting a clear signal into the quantum field. It's like the difference between a radio station with static versus one broadcasting a clear, strong frequency. The field responds to coherence. But when you're in stress, anxiety, fear, when your heart rhythm is chaotic and disordered, you're broadcasting noise. And the quantum field mirrors that back to you as chaotic, disordered experiences. And before you think this is pseudoscience, remember your body is 70% water. Dr. Masaru Emoto's experiments showed that water molecules respond to consciousness, forming different crystalline structures based on the emotional content of thoughts directed at them. If thoughts can alter the molecular structure of water, they can alter the molecular structure of you. Your emotional state isn't just affecting your psychology, it's affecting your biology, and it's broadcasting your quantum address, the specific timeline you're tuning into. Here's what very few people understand about timeline shifting and quantum creation. The The quantum field doesn't respond to your thoughts. It responds to your frequency. And your frequency isn't determined by what you think. It's determined by what you feel, specifically what your heart feels. Think of the quantum field like a vast cosmic radio. Right now, this very second, there are hundreds of radio stations broadcasting simultaneously. News, music, talk shows, different languages, different content. They're all there, all real, all happening at once. But you can only hear one station at a time. Why? Because your radio is tuned to a specific frequency. Now your consciousness works the same way. There are infinite timelines, infinite versions of your life, broadcasting simultaneously in the quantum field. On one timeline, you said yes to that opportunity. On another, you said no. On one timeline, you healed that relationship. On another, you never did. On one timeline, you discovered your purpose at 25. On another, you're still searching at 50. All of these timelines exist as probability waves in the quantum field. They're all real. They're all available. But you can only experience the one you're tuned into. And what determines which frequency you're tuned into? Not your thoughts, not your intentions, not your vision board, your emotional frequency, the one your heart is broadcasting. So let's apply this. If you're broadcasting anxiety, worrying about money, relationships, health, you're tuned into the frequency of lack, and the quantum field delivers you experiences that match that frequency. More things to worry about, more scarcity, more problems. If you're broadcasting gratitude, genuinely feeling appreciation for what you have right now, you're tuned into the frequency of abundance, and the quantum field delivers experiences that match that frequency. More things to appreciate, more opportunities, more flow. If you're broadcasting unworthiness, the unconscious belief that you're not good enough, you're tuned into timelines where you're constantly proving you're not good enough, sabotaging relationships, quitting before you succeed, playing small. If you're broadcasting self-love and wholeness, the embodied knowing that you are enough exactly as you are, you're tuned into timelines where life reflects that back to you. People who appreciate you, opportunities that fit you, experiences that honor you. The quantum field is a mirror. It doesn't judge, it doesn't decide. It just reflects back the frequency you're transmitting. And here's the part that's difficult to accept. Most of your emotional frequency isn't conscious, it's subconscious. You inherited it from your parents, your culture, your early experiences. You're running programs that were installed before you were even old enough to question them. So you can think positive thoughts all day long. You can visualize, you can affirm. But if your heart is broadcasting fear, unworthiness, or lack at the subconscious level, that's the frequency the quantum field responds to. This is why manifestation feels so frustrating for most people. They're trying to change the channel with their mind while their heart is locked onto a different station. The solution: we have to go deeper than thought. We have to reprogram the heart. So what's the solution? How do you actually shift your heart's frequency from the old timeline to the new one? The answer is something called heart coherence. And it's not meditation, it's not visualization. It's a specific physiological state where your heart, brain, and nervous system synchronize into harmonic rhythm. And in that state, you become a clear transmitter to the quantum field. Let me give you the exact protocol. The Heart Coherence Protocol, Quantum Frequency Alignment. Do this practice for 15 minutes every morning before you look at your phone, before you interact with anyone, before the world's frequency starts pulling you into its chaos. Step 1, posture and grounding. 1 minute. Sit comfortably with your spine straight but not rigid. Feet flat on the floor. Palms resting gently on your thighs, facing up. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. In through the nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale through the mouth for 6. Hold for 2. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system and tells your body it's safe to drop into a deeper state. Step 2, heart-focused breathing. 3 minutes. Place your hand on your heart center, the middle of your chest. Imagine that you're breathing in and out through your heart, not your nose, not your lungs, your heart. Breathe slowly. 5 counts in, 5 counts out. Feel the rise and fall of your chest. This sounds simple, but it's powerful. You're literally directing your attention to the electromagnetic generator of your body. Step 3. Activate coherence emotion, 5 minutes. Now, while continuing heart-focused breathing, recall a specific memory when you felt deep gratitude, love, or appreciation. Not a vague feeling, a specific moment. Maybe it was holding your child for the first time. Maybe it was a sunset that took your breath away. Maybe it was a moment of unexpected kindness from a stranger. Don't just think about it, feel it. Let the warmth of that emotion fill your chest. Let it spread through your body. Stay here for at least 5 minutes. You're not just remembering a feeling, you're generating the electromagnetic frequency of that feeling right now. And that frequency is broadcasting into the quantum field. Step 4, quantum intention, 3 minutes. Now, from this state of coherence, from this feeling of gratitude and wholeness, gently introduce your intention. Not from need, not from lack, but from overflow. I am so grateful that X is already happening. I feel so much appreciation for Y showing up in my life. I'm overflowing with gratitude for Z that's on its way. Feel the truth of it. Feel what it would feel like if this were already your reality. Your nervous system can't tell the difference between an imagined experience and a real one. If you generate the feeling, your body believes it's real, and you start broadcasting that frequency. Step 5, sealing and integration, 2 minutes. Place both hands on your heart. Take 3 deep breaths. Visualize golden light pouring down from the cosmos, entering through the crown of your head, filling your heart, and radiating out through your entire biofield, 3 to 6 feet around you. You're sealing this frequency into your energy field. Then slowly open your eyes. Step 6, immediate action, 1 minute. Here's the crucial part most people skip. Take one small action within 5 minutes of finishing this practice that aligns with the timeline you're tuning into. Send that email, make that call, write that first sentence. The action doesn't have to be big, it just has to be aligned. This tells the quantum field, I'm serious. I'm not just daydreaming, I'm choosing this timeline. EDC 24. Anticipação de obstáculos e cliffhanger. When you do this practice for the first time, it might feel artificial. Your mind might say, this isn't working, I'm just pretending. That's normal. That's your old programming resisting change. But if you do this consistently for 30 days, every single morning, no exceptions, you will start noticing something extraordinary. Synchronicities increase, opportunities appear, the right people show up. Things that used to be difficult become effortless. Why? Because you've changed the station. You've tuned into a different timeline. Now, before you run off to practice this, there's something crucial I need to tell you about the 3 markers that indicate you're actually shifting timelines, and why most people miss them completely and end up reverting back to the old reality. Let's talk about something that mainstream neuroscience is only beginning to understand, but that changes everything about how you experience timeline shifts. You don't have one brain, you have 3 brains, and they're constantly communicating with each other through a network of neurons, neurotransmitters, and electromagnetic signals. This isn't metaphorical. This is anatomy. In 1996, Dr. Michael Gershon of Columbia University published groundbreaking research revealing that the gut contains approximately 500 million neurons, more than the spinal cord. He called it the second brain, and he showed that your gut produces 95% of your body's serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for feelings of well-being and happiness. But it gets even more interesting. In 2004, researchers at the HeartMath Institute confirmed that the heart contains approximately 40,000 neurons, a sophisticated neural network capable of learning, remembering, and making functional decisions independent of the brain in your head. Your heart has its own intelligence. Your gut has its own intelligence. They're not just organs following orders from your head. They're sophisticated processing centers sending more information to your head brain than they receive from it. Dr. J. Andrew Armour, who pioneered the concept of the heart brain, discovered that the heart sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. In fact, the heart signals can actually override signals from the head brain, influencing perception, emotional processing, and decision-making. And here's the quantum implication. Each of these three brains is generating its own electromagnetic field. When they're in coherence, when all three are synchronized and harmonized, they create a unified field that is exponentially more powerful than any one brain alone. This coherence creates what physicists call constructive interference. When waves align and amplify each other, like voices singing in harmony versus singing out of tune. Let me give you the numbers that reveal why this matters for timeline shifting. Head brain, 5 to 10 hertz electromagnetic frequency. Heart brain, 60 times more electrical amplitude than head, 5,000 times more magnetic amplitude. Gut brain produces 50% of dopamine and 95% of serotonin. When these three brains are in coherence, synchronized in rhythm and frequency, your body enters what researchers call psychophysiological coherence. In this state, your immune function increases by up to 50%. Your cognitive performance improves dramatically. Your intuition becomes razor sharp. Your ability to perceive and attract opportunities skyrockets. But here's the timeline connection. When your three brains are out of coherence, when your head wants one thing, your heart feels another, and your gut is screaming something else entirely, you create what's called destructive interference. You're broadcasting mixed signals into the quantum field. It's like trying to tune into a radio station while three different people are turning the dial in different directions. You get static, confusion, chaos, and the quantum field mirrors that back to you as mixed results. Confusing synchronicities, opportunities that appear and disappear, manifestations that almost happen but don't quite materialize. If you want to shift timelines cleanly, without resistance, without backsliding, you need all three brains working together, broadcasting the same frequency. Here's what most people don't understand about timeline shifting. It's not a mental decision. It's not even an emotional decision. It's a systemic shift that involves your entire body, all three of your brains, agreeing on a new frequency. Think of your three brains like a company with three executives: the CEO, head brain; the CFO, heart brain; and the COO, gut brain. The CEO, your head brain, loves strategy, planning, logic. It's always thinking about the future, analyzing possibilities, making lists. When you set an intention to shift timelines, your CEO immediately jumps in. Great, here's the plan. Here are the steps. Here's the strategy. The CFO, your heart brain, is all about values and meaning. It asks, does this feel aligned? Does this resonate with who I truly am? Does this honor my deepest values? When you try to shift timelines, your CFO evaluates, does this new reality actually feel right? Or am I just chasing something because I think I'm supposed to? The CEO, your gut brain, is about safety and survival. It's your primal intelligence, constantly scanning the environment, asking, is this safe? Have we done this before? What are the risks? When you attempt to shift timelines, your COO gets nervous. Wait, we've never been on this timeline before. The old timeline is familiar. Let's stay here where it's safe. Now, here's what happens for most people trying to manifest or shift timelines. The CEO, head, says, we're going to create abundance, find our purpose, heal our relationships. The CFO, heart, says, that sounds nice, but I don't actually feel worthy of that. I feel afraid. The COO, gut, says, absolutely not. Change is dangerous. We're staying exactly where we are. So you end up with internal conflict. Your head brain visualizes the new house, but your heart doesn't believe you deserve it, and your gut feels unsafe with the responsibility. Result, you sabotage opportunities for abundance. Your head brain sets the intention to find your soulmate, but your heart still feels wounded from past betrayal, and your gut associates intimacy with danger. Result, you attract unavailable people or push away available ones. Your head brain wants to start that business, but your heart feels unworthy of success, and your gut remembers every time you failed before and wants to protect you from failing again. Result, you procrastinate, make excuses, never actually launch. The quantum field doesn't respond to your head's intention. It responds to the average frequency being broadcast by all three brains combined. If 2 out of 3 brains are broadcasting fear, lack, or unworthiness, that's the timeline you're tuning into, no matter how positive your thoughts are. And here's the part that makes this so tricky. Your head brain is conscious. You know what it's thinking. You can change your thoughts relatively easily, but your heart and gut, they're operating at the subconscious and unconscious levels. They're running programs installed in childhood, inherited from your lineage, encoded in your nervous system from past trauma. You can't change those programs with thought. You have to change them with feeling, with sensation, with somatic experience. This is why talk therapy often fails to create lasting change. This is why positive thinking alone doesn't work. You're trying to reprogram the heart and gut using the language of the head, but they speak different languages. The heart speaks the language of emotion. The gut speaks the language of sensation. If you want all three brains in coherence, you have to address all three in their own languages. So how do you actually get all three brains into coherence? How do you get your CEO, CFO, and COO to agree on the new timeline? The answer is something I call the three-brain synchronization protocol. This is a daily practice that addresses each brain in its own language, bringing them into harmonic alignment. The three-brain synchronization protocol, full system coherence. This practice takes 20 minutes. Do it first thing in the morning or right before bed, whenever you can have uninterrupted time. Phase 1, gut-brain activation, safety and grounding, 5 minutes. Start by lying down or sitting in a comfortable position. Place both hands on your lower belly, about 2 inches below your navel. This is where your gut brain lives, your enteric nervous system. Breathe deeply into your belly, feeling it expand under your hands. As you breathe, say internally or out loud, I am safe. My body is safe. This moment is safe. Now scan your gut for any tension, tightness, or discomfort. Don't try to fix it, just notice it. Your gut holds all your unprocessed fear, all your survival responses, all your primal memories of danger. Just acknowledge, I feel you, I hear you. Thank you for trying to protect me. Continue breathing into your belly, and with each exhale, imagine any fear, any tension, any old survival patterns draining down through your legs, through your feet, into the earth. Let the earth neutralize and compost this old energy. Repeat for 5 minutes until you feel a sense of calm, groundedness, safety in your belly. Phase 2, heart-brain activation, love and coherence, 5 minutes. Now move your hands to your heart center. Continue breathing, but shift the breath to your heart. Imagine breathing in and out through your chest. Recall a moment of pure love, not romantic love necessarily, just pure, unconditional, open-hearted love. Maybe it's the love you feel for a child, a pet, a sunset, a moment of grace. Feel it. Let it fill your chest. As you breathe and feel this love, say internally, I am worthy, I am enough, I am loved exactly as I am. Let this feeling expand through your chest, through your body, out into your biofield. You're not trying to convince yourself of anything. You're generating the electromagnetic frequency of worthiness, of love, of wholeness. Stay here for 5 minutes, deepening into this feeling with each breath. Phase 3, head-brain activation, clarity and vision, 5 minutes. Now move your hands to your forehead, resting gently on your third eye area. Your head brain has been listening to the gut and heart. Now it's time to give it a clear vision. From this place of safety, gut, and worthiness, heart, ask your head brain, what do I truly want? What is my soul calling me toward? Don't force an answer, just listen. Let images, words, feelings arise. Your head brain, when it's not in survival mode, when it's receiving clear signals from a calm gut and coherent heart, has access to incredible clarity and intuition. Visualize yourself on the new timeline. See it, feel it, hear it. Make it as vivid as possible. But here's the key. Notice that you're already feeling worthy from the heart work and safe from the gut work. You're not visualizing from desperation or need. You're visualizing from wholeness. Stay here for 5 minutes, letting the vision become clear and embodied. Phase 4, full integration, 3 brains united, 5 minutes. Finally, place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Take a deep breath and imagine a column of light running through all 3 brains, gut, heart, head, connecting them, synchronizing them. Say internally, my 3 brains are united. My gut feels safe. My heart feels love. My head sees clearly. I am broadcasting one unified frequency. Name your intention: abundance, purpose, love, healing, etc. This is my timeline. This is my reality, and so it is. Sit in this unified state for 5 minutes. You might feel tingling, warmth, emotional release, or deep peace. All of this is your three brains coming into coherence. When you first do this practice, your mind might wander, your gut might feel restless, your heart might feel numb. This is normal. These three brains haven't been synchronized in a long time, maybe ever. But with daily practice, something extraordinary happens. The internal conflict dissolves. The mixed signals stop. You start broadcasting a clear, unified frequency into the quantum field, and the quantum field responds. Now, here's what you need to know. There are three specific markers that indicate you're successfully shifting timelines. Most people experience these markers, but don't recognize them. And because they don't recognize them, they panic, they doubt, they revert back to the old timeline out of fear. Let me show you exactly what these markers are and how to navigate them without falling back. Let's talk about something that most spiritual teachers won't tell you because they don't understand the science behind it. Timeline shifting isn't smooth. It's not like flipping a light switch. It's more like crossing a river. There's a turbulent middle phase where you're no longer on the old shore, but not yet on the new shore. You're in the water. And if you don't understand what's happening during this phase, you'll panic and swim back to the old timeline out of fear. The science behind this, it's called the transition phase, and it's documented in chaos theory, systems theory, and quantum physics. In 1977, Belgian chemist Ilya Prigogine won the Nobel Prize for his work on dissipative structures, systems that, when pushed far enough from equilibrium, don't just change gradually, they completely reorganize into a new, higher order of complexity. Think of water. At 30 degrees, it's ice. At 33 degrees, it's still ice. At 50 degrees, still ice. But at 32.1 degrees, something extraordinary happens. The molecular structure collapses, the solid structure dissipates, and then reorganizes into liquid water. It's not a gradual shift, it's a phase transition. The same principle applies to consciousness and timeline shifting. You're not just adding new thoughts to old patterns. You're undergoing a phase transition, a complete reorganization of your identity, your frequency, your reality. And here's what Prigogine discovered. Right before a system reorganizes into a higher order, it goes through a phase of maximum chaos. The old structure is breaking down. The new structure hasn't fully formed yet. Everything feels unstable. This is what researchers call the edge of chaos, the transition zone between order and disorder, between the old timeline and the new one. In 2019, researchers at MIT published a study showing that living systems, including human consciousness, follow this same pattern. When you're undergoing transformation, your nervous system temporarily becomes more chaotic, not less. Your brainwaves become more erratic, your emotions become more volatile, your behavior becomes less predictable. Why? Because the old neural pathways are dissolving and new ones are forming. Your brain is literally rewiring itself. The MIT study measured this transition phase and found something fascinating. People undergoing significant transformation showed 40% increase in emotional volatility during the transition phase, temporary decrease in cognitive performance, brain fog, forgetfulness, sleep disruptions, and vivid dreams as the brain processes new information, physical symptoms, fatigue, headaches, digestive issues. But here's what happened after the transition phase stabilized. 150% increase in creative, problem-solving ability, significant improvement in emotional regulation, higher baseline of well-being and life satisfaction, increased synchronicities and lucky opportunities. The chaos wasn't a sign that something was wrong. The chaos was evidence that something was working, that the old structure was breaking down so a new, higher order structure could emerge. And here's the quantum connection. When you're in the transition phase, you're literally existing in superposition. You're simultaneously on the old timeline and the new timeline, and the universe hasn't decided which one you'll collapse into yet. The observer effect applies here. If you observe the chaos with fear and interpret it as, "This isn't working, I'm failing, I need to go back," you collapse back into the old timeline. But if you observe the chaos with awareness and interpret it as, "This is the reorganization phase, this is evidence I'm shifting," you stabilize into the new timeline. Your interpretation of the transition determines the outcome. Here's what you need to understand about the 3 markers of timeline shifting. These markers aren't pleasant, they're not comfortable, and if you don't know they're coming, you'll misinterpret them as signs that you're doing something wrong, when actually they're proof that you're doing something right. Think of it like a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. Inside the chrysalis, something extraordinary and disturbing happens. The caterpillar's body doesn't just sprout wings, it dissolves. It becomes a soupy, chaotic mess of cells. If you opened the chrysalis mid-transformation, you wouldn't see a caterpillar. You wouldn't see a butterfly. You'd see biological chaos. But inside that chaos, something called imaginal cells are activating. Cells that carry the blueprint for the butterfly. At first, the caterpillar's immune system attacks these imaginal cells as foreign invaders. But the imaginal cells keep appearing, keep multiplying, and eventually they reach critical mass. They organize, they create new structures, they build wings, antennae, a completely new body. The caterpillar didn't fail. It had to dissolve to transform. Your timeline shift works the same way. The old identity, the old patterns, the old beliefs, the old frequency has to dissolve before the new one can fully form. And during that dissolution phase, you might feel like you're falling apart, but you're not falling apart, you're reorganizing. So let's apply this to your actual experience. When you're on the OLD timeline, stuck in the old patterns, everything feels familiar. You know who you are. You know your limitations. You know what to expect. It's not necessarily happy, but it's stable. Your identity is solid. When you start shifting timelines, when you do the coherence practices, when you align your 3 brains, you begin to destabilize the old structure. And that's when the 3 markers appear. Marker 1, the identity confusion. You start to feel like you don't know who you are anymore. The old roles don't fit. The old interests feel empty. The old relationships feel misaligned. You look in the mirror and think, who am I becoming? Marker 2, the chaos surge. Everything that was stable suddenly becomes turbulent. Old issues you thought you'd resolved resurface. Relationships get triggered. Your finances fluctuate. Your health acts up. It feels like everything is falling apart at once. Marker 3. The reality glitches. You start experiencing weird synchronicities, strange coincidences, glitches in the matrix, moments where reality feels dreamlike, fluid, malleable. You might see repeated numbers, 1111, 222, run into the same people in impossible contexts, have dreams that predict the future. Most people experience these 3 markers and think, oh no, I'm doing something wrong. I need to stop. I need to go back to what's familiar. But that's the worst thing you can do, because these markers aren't signs of failure. They're signs you're in the transition phase, the chrysalis. And if you abort the process now, you stay a caterpillar forever. And here's why this is so difficult. Your ego, the part of you that's identified with the old timeline, will fight this transition. It will create fear, doubt, confusion, chaos. Not because it's evil, but because it's trying to protect you. It knows the old timeline. It doesn't know the new one. And the unknown feels like death. In a way, it is death. The death of who you were, so that who you're becoming can be born. But most people aren't prepared for this. They don't have the tools to navigate the transition without panicking. So they revert back to the old timeline, sometimes for years, sometimes for a lifetime, believing that transformation isn't for them or doesn't work, but it does work. You just have to know how to navigate the transition. So how do you actually navigate the 3 markers without reverting back to the old timeline? You need what I call the Timeline Stabilization Protocol, a set of practices specifically designed to anchor you in the new timeline, even when everything feels chaotic. The Timeline Stabilization Protocol anchoring the new reality. Use this protocol daily during the transition phase, usually the first 30 to 90 days after you start consciously shifting timelines. Practice. 1. Morning reality declaration. 5 minutes. Every morning, before you do anything else, stand barefoot on the earth if possible, or on a natural surface, wood, stone, grass. Place your hand on your heart and speak this declaration out loud. I am in the transition phase. The old timeline is dissolving, the new timeline is forming. What I'm experiencing is not chaos. It's reorganization. I trust this process. I anchor myself in the frequency of your desired state, abundance, love, purpose, peace. This is my reality now. Speaking it out loud is crucial. Sound is vibration. Your voice creates a measurable frequency that ripples through your biofield and into the quantum field. You're not just thinking new thoughts, you're broadcasting a new frequency. Practice 2. Daily energy hygiene. 10 minutes. During the transition phase, your biofield is more permeable, more sensitive, more vulnerable to outside influences. You need daily energy clearing. Step 1. Auric clearing. 3 minutes. Visualize a waterfall of brilliant white or golden light pouring down from above your head, washing through your entire body and energy field. See it dissolving any stuck energy, any fear, any doubt, any foreign energy you've absorbed from others. Let it drain down through your feet into the earth. Step 2. Boundary setting. 3 minutes. Visualize a sphere of protective light surrounding your entire body, 3 to 6 feet in all directions. This is your biofield, your energetic boundary. Set the intention. Only energies that serve my highest good may enter this field. All other energies bounce off harmlessly. Step 3. Grounding. 4 minutes. Imagine roots growing from the bottom of your feet, going deep into the earth, through soil, through rock, all the way to the molten core of the planet. Feel the Earth's magnetic field stabilizing your own field. You're plugging into the most stable, grounding frequency available, the Earth itself. During the transition phase, your mind will try to convince you that nothing is changing or it's not working. You need concrete evidence to show yourself that reality is shifting. Every evening, write down 3 things in your journal. 1. Evidence of timeline shift. What happened today that would not have happened on the old timeline? Maybe you responded differently to a trigger. Maybe you made a choice you wouldn't have made before. Maybe an opportunity appeared. Maybe you felt a different emotion. Write it down. These are breadcrumbs showing you the path from old to new. 2. Synchronicities and signs. What strange coincidences, repeated numbers, unexpected meetings, or glitches occurred today? Don't dismiss them as meaningless. The quantum field communicates through synchronicity. Write them down. Over time, you'll see patterns. The universe confirming, yes, you're on the right track. 3. Gratitude anchor. Write 3 things you're genuinely grateful for. This isn't toxic positivity, it's frequency medicine. Gratitude generates coherence in your heart's electromagnetic field. It's the fastest way to stabilize your frequency when chaos is swirling around you. Practice 4. The chaos navigation breath. Use as needed. When you feel overwhelmed, when doubt creeps in, when you want to quit and go back to the old timeline, use this emergency stabilization technique. Step 1. Stop what you're doing. Place 1 hand on your belly, 1 hand on your heart. Now, step 2. Breathe in for 4 counts through your nose, filling your belly first, then your chest. Step 3. Hold for 4 counts. Step 4. Exhale for 8 counts through your mouth, releasing completely. Step 5. Repeat 5 times while saying internally, this chaos is temporary. I am reorganizing. I trust the process. I am safe. This breath pattern activates your parasympathetic nervous system and tells your body, we're not in danger. This is transformation, not threat. Practice 5. Weekly timeline review, 20 minutes every Sunday. Once a week, sit down and review your evidence journal from the past 7 days. Ask yourself, what patterns am I seeing in the timeline shifts? What synchronicities keep repeating? How am I different now than I was 7 days ago? What old behaviors have I released? What new behaviors are emerging? This weekly review helps you see the transformation that your fearful mind wants to deny. You're building a case file of evidence. Reality is changing. I am shifting. This is working. Here's what you need to know. The transition phase typically lasts 30 to 90 days. days. The first 2 weeks are usually the most intense. That's when the identity confusion and chaos surge are strongest. If you can make it through those first 2 weeks with these practices, without reverting back, you hit what I call the quantum tipping point, the moment where the new timeline becomes more stable than the old one. And once you hit that tipping point, something magical happens. The struggle stops, the resistance dissolves, things start flowing, opportunities appear effortlessly, the right people show up, your purpose becomes clear. It's like the universe suddenly starts supporting you instead of testing you. But before we get there, there's one more thing you need to understand. One massive error that 90% of people make during timeline shifting that causes them to abort the process right before the breakthrough. Let me tell you exactly what that error is. All right, as I promised earlier, I'm going to reveal the #1 error that prevents 90% of people from successfully completing a timeline shift, even when they're doing everything else right. This error is so subtle, so insidious, that most people don't even realize they're making it, and it sabotages everything. The error is this: trying to force the timeline shift instead of allowing it. Let me explain what I mean. When you learn about quantum physics, timeline shifting, conscious creation, when you realize you have the power to change your reality, there's a natural excitement. Finally, I can fix everything. I can manifest the life I want. I can escape the old patterns. And so you approach the practices with this energy. I need this to work. I have to shift timelines now. I must see results immediately, or else I'm doing it wrong. You do the heart coherence practice, but underneath the gratitude, there's desperation. Please work. Please let this be the thing that finally changes my life. You do the 3-brain synchronization, but you're constantly checking. Is it working yet? Has anything changed? Why isn't this happening faster? You track the synchronicities, but when they don't come fast enough or big enough, you panic. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe I'm broken. Maybe this doesn't work for me. Do you see what's happening? You're vibrating in the frequency of lack, of not having, of desperation and need. And the quantum field doesn't respond to your intention. It responds to your frequency. So even though your intention is, I want abundance, your frequency is broadcasting, I don't have abundance and I desperately need it. And the quantum field mirrors back. More experiences of not having, more desperation, more need. Why does this happen? Because your survival programming, your gut brain, believes that if you don't have control, if you don't force things to happen, you'll be abandoned, you'll fail, you'll die. It's trying to protect you by making you effort and force and control. But timeline shifting doesn't work through force. It works through alignment, through allowing, through becoming the frequency of what you desire, and then trusting that the quantum field will match it. The solution? You have to shift from the energy of making it happen to the energy of letting it happen. From doing to being, from desperation to trust. And that's a subtle but profound shift. It means doing the practices not to get results, but to embody the frequency. Not because you need to change, but because you're already changing and you're honoring that process. It's the difference between saying, I'm doing this so I can finally be abundant, versus I'm abundant now, and I'm doing this to align with that truth. One is vibrating in lack, the other is vibrating in wholeness, and the quantum field responds to wholeness with more experiences of wholeness. It responds to lack with more experiences of lack. So if you catch yourself forcing, striving, desperately needing results, pause, breathe, come back to the frequency of, it's already done, I'm already on the new timeline. This practice is just helping me stabilize there. That subtle shift, it changes everything. So let's recap what you've learned today, because this is the most comprehensive integration of science, energy, and practice you'll find anywhere. First, you discovered that quantum entanglement isn't just about particles in a lab. It's about your consciousness being entangled with every possible version of your life that exists in the quantum field. Einstein was wrong. Spooky action at a distance is real, and it means your thoughts thoughts, your feelings, your frequency are instantaneously connected to the field of all possibilities. You learned that the observer effect means you're not passively experiencing reality. You're actively collapsing quantum possibilities into specific outcomes through the act of observation and the frequency you're broadcasting. You discovered that your heart generates an electromagnetic field 60 times stronger than your brain, extending 3 to 6 feet outside your body. And that when your heart is in coherence, when you're feeling genuine gratitude, love, appreciation, it broadcasts a clear signal into the quantum field that the field responds to with matching experiences. And you learned about your three brains, head, heart, gut, and how when they're out of alignment, they create destructive interference, mixed signals, chaos. But when they're in coherence, they create constructive interference, amplifying your signal and making manifestation effortless. Second, you saw how energy self-care isn't some fluffy optional add-on to your spiritual practice. It's medicine, it's technology. Your biofield is real, it's measurable. And when it's cluttered with old trauma, foreign energy, chaotic frequencies, you can't broadcast a clear signal, no matter how positive your thoughts are. You learned specific protocols for clearing your biofield, setting energetic boundaries, grounding into the Earth's electromagnetic field, and desynchronizing your three brains so that your entire system, physical, emotional, mental, energetic, is broadcasting one unified frequency into the quantum field. You discovered that timeline shifting isn't smooth. There's a transition phase where the old structure dissolves and the new structure forms, and during that phase, chaos is normal. It's not a sign of failure, it's evidence of transformation. Third, you received practical protocols. You can start using today the Heart Coherence Protocol for tuning into your desired timeline, the Three Brain Synchronization Protocol for ending internal conflict, the Timeline Stabilization Protocol for navigating the transition phase without reverting back, the Reality Check Journaling Practice for tracking your evidence of change, the Chaos Navigation Breath for emergency stabilization when you feel like quitting. These aren't theories. These aren't philosophies. These are tools, technologies, practices that create measurable shifts in your nervous system, your biofield, your frequency, and therefore your experienced reality. When you integrate these three dimensions, science, energy, and practice, you're not just learning new information, you're becoming a quantum creator, a conscious participant in the field of infinite possibilities, someone who doesn't just react to reality, but authors reality from a place of coherence, alignment, and wholeness. This is the future of human consciousness. This is what it means to be awake in the quantum age, and you're now part of that awakening. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me, which of the three markers are you experiencing right now? The identity confusion, the chaos surge, the reality glitches, or maybe you're in the stabilization phase and you're starting to see real, tangible shifts. And here's what I really want to know. What synchronicity or sign has shown up recently that you can't dismiss as coincidence? Share it in the comments, because your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to keep going, to not give up, to trust their own process. I read every single comment and I respond personally. This isn't just a video, this is a community of people who are waking up to their quantum nature, and your voice matters here. If you've already applied any of the practices I've shared and you've experienced shifts, come back and tell us. Your testimony could change someone's life. If this content resonated with you, if you felt that tingle of recognition that yes, this is what I've been looking for, then subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. This isn't just about getting new videos. This is about committing to your journey. Every week I release new content integrating quantum physics, consciousness science, energy medicine, and practical transformation protocols. Content you won't find anywhere else. us, because most teachers are stuck in either pure science or pure spirituality. We're bridging both. By subscribing, you're saying, I'm ready for this. I'm committed to understanding how reality actually works and becoming a conscious creator. This is your quantum awakening, and it's just beginning. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, someone who's struggling with manifestation, someone who's questioning their reality, someone who's ready for deeper truth, share this video with them. You might be the catalyst for their awakening. You might be the synchronicity they've been asking for. The quantum field works through us, through our connections, through our willingness to share what we've learned. So if this video helped you, pay it forward, share it, let it ripple out. Before we end, I need you to really understand something. You are not here by accident. The fact that you found this video, the fact that you watched it all the way to the end, the fact that you're hearing these words right now, this is not random. You didn't find this video. This video found you. The quantum field has been preparing you for this moment. Every struggle, every setback, every moment of confusion, it was all part of the preparation. You've been taking the test this whole time without even knowing it. And by being here, by staying present, by choosing to question and seek and learn, you passed. You passed the test that most people never even recognize, let alone complete. So here's what I want you to know with absolute certainty. You have the power to shift timelines. You are the observer collapsing quantum possibilities into experienced reality. You can reprogram your frequency, synchronize your three brains, and broadcast a clear signal into the field of infinite possibilities. This isn't magic. This is physics. This isn't luck. This is alignment. This isn't wishful thinking. This is science applied with intention, energy, and practice. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the author of your reality. And now you have the knowledge, the understanding, and the tools to author consciously. So here's what I want you to do right now. Don't just consume this information and move on. Pick one practice from today's video, just one, and commit to doing it for the next 7 days. Heart coherence, three-brain synchronization, reality check journaling, just one. Because knowing isn't enough. You have to embody it. You have to practice it. You have to let it reorganize your system from the inside out. The quantum field is waiting for you to choose. The new timeline is waiting for you to tune in. Your highest self is waiting for you to align. So start today, start now, and watch the magic, the quantum magic, unfold in your life. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay coherent, stay aligned, stay quantum. And remember, you didn't pass the test by accident. You passed because you're ready for what comes next. Welcome to your new timeline. Welcome to the quantum you.